Hi there, this is Mr. Evans. This video is on Hertzberg's two-factor theory. So it is the third of these theories of motivation that you need to be aware of. So Herzberg is the second Frederick that we know learning about. The first one was F.W. Taylor, Frederick Taylor. Frederick Herzberg's two-factor theory is a model of human motivation based on categorising aspects of work by the extent to which they either increase job satisfaction or reduce job dissatisfaction. So I'll explain that a bit more in a minute. But he identified kind of aspects of work and he put them into two categories. This is either a motivating factor that will lead to job satisfaction, or it's a hygiene factor which will reduce job dissatisfaction. So, I'll come back to the motivating factors in a second. Deal with hygiene factors first, because these are sometimes difficult to understand what he meant. So I like to explain this. I mean, imagine that, and apologies if it's a bit of a disgusting example, but if you walk into a public toilet and it is not being well maintained and it's dirty and unhygienic, you are demotivated. You do not want to be in that place. Whereas if you walk into a public toilet and it's well maintained, it's clean, it's hygienic, in other words, it doesn't motivate you. You don't particularly want to be in there. It just reduces your dissatisfaction. It's not going to make you jump for joy that the bathroom is clean, but it may well, it's not going to be a source of dissatisfaction for you. Okay, so that's what a hygiene factor is. It's something that its presence reduces the opportunity for people to be annoyed about their work. Okay, so controversially, Herzberg said that pay, it's not a motivator. It's not. You're not going to give someone loads of money and suddenly they're, really motivated to do the job. And this is controversial, and a lot of students, when we talk about this in class, kind of disagree with that. And I gave an example in the first video we looked at on motivation of the difference between movement and motivation. Motivation we defined as the desire to achieve a particular outcome or goal, whereas movement is making someone do something through coercion or rewards like pay. If you've got a rubbish job and you don't enjoy the job, paying you isn't going to make you enjoy the job, is Hertzberg's point. Paying you will make you do something, but it won't necessarily make you enjoy it, make you creative, make you fully motivated and want to be there. However, what he did say is that pay and benefits are a hygiene factor. If those pay and benefits aren't right, you are not going to be motivated. So if you feel that you're being underpaid for a job, that is going to be a source of dissatisfaction. If you feel you're getting the right reward for a job, it doesn't make you actually enjoy the job anymore, but it reduces your chance of dissatisfaction. It's kind of interesting. I mean, an example would be I've teaching in Dubai at the moment, where the wages are significantly higher than they are in the UK, where I taught for many years. My motivation hasn't gone up. I'm not enjoying the job anymore. I enjoy the job anyway. I enjoyed it in the UK. I enjoy it here. I'm just so happens that I'm taking home more money working where I am at the moment. Okay, it hasn't made me more motivated. So that's pay and benefits. Other things that are hygiene factors: company policy. If there's excessive red tape and bureaucracy, that can annoy people. If your relationships in the workplace aren't right, work conditions, if you feel that your status is poor, all of these things, lack of job security. If you've got job security, you're not going to feel super motivated, but if you don't have job security, security, then you will be dissatisfied. So these are all hygiene factors. In terms of motivation and motivating factors, Hertzberg said that having achievements recognised, maybe by like Employee of the Month or promotions, or just people saying well done, good management is going to be motivating. The nature of the work itself, is it interesting? Is it challenging? Is it rewarding? All of these things, is it of value to you and somebody else? All of these things will motivate you if they're in place. If you've got responsibility for decision making, or are you being told what to do all the time? Are there opportunities for promotion? Have you been promoted when you've done a good job? And are there opportunities for growth? So if you think about it, if you could link it with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, kind of quite a lot of these things, like pay and benefits, relationships, work conditions, a lot of these are kind of lower level needs on Maslow's hierarchy, whereas this stuff is kind of the self-esteem, self-actualization needs on Maslow's hierarchy. So you can make those links. What are the implications for business? So businesses need to identify any causes of dissatisfaction and work to minimise them. So, resolving conflicts in the workplace, just checking the company policy, making sure it's reasonable. Sports Direct were an example of a company that used to search their employees when they were leaving. They didn't trust their employees, and they didn't get paid for it either. This searching process would take about 15 minutes, and the employees had to do it, but they weren't being paid for it. So that is an example of an unreasonable company policy. Other implications, motivating factors need to be in place for a workforce to be fully motivated and engaged, and there's an impact on job design. Jobs should be designed for responsibility, opportunities for creativity, training and promotion, and you can link that to Hatman and Oldham's model of good job design. Okay, a lot of crossover there between what makes a good job and what Hertzberg was saying was a motivating factor. So what's the value of the theory? Well, this was actually tested, empirically tested on 200 accountants and engineers. However, that's a small sample size across 2 industries, and trying to apply these in, say, manufacturing sector or other sectors or in the modern world, maybe things have moved on a little. I've mentioned the controversy about categorising pay as a hygiene factor, and it doesn't consider the motivating nature of teamwork and human interactions, which another motivational theorist did. You don't need to know about Mayo, but if you do have some time and are interested, Mayo talked a lot about the motivating nature of teamwork. It used to be in the specification, but it's not listed anymore. So that is Hertzberg's two-factor theory.